Pray for us. 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 So, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I'm sorry kung natagalan po ang ating show ngayon ng at least 30 minutes dahil nagkaroon po ng technical delays. I've been dealing with a slow laptop since a few months ago. Basta, hindi siya ganito kabagal before. Lately, bumabagal lang siya. Ang topic natin ngayong gabi sa Open Arms ay ang mga paraan upang malampasan ang creative block. There are 20 ways that we can do to overcome creative block. But how can we do this? It's great working a creative industry, pero pwedeng mahihirapan tayong manatiling masigla at inspired palagi. Leading designers, therefore, are asked how they beat creative block. So let's discuss these 20 quick fire tips para ang ating creative juices ay magpa-flow ulit. So, first off, let's tap into our subconscious. According to Shotopop's Casper Franken, strange things happen in a semi-sleep state kapag half asleep na tayo, kapag nasa-start na mag-take over ang ating unconscious. Wake up and write down whatever was happening bago mo ito makalimutan before you go to sleep. Or kapag nagising ka in the middle of your sleep, you can write down anything that's happening bago mo ito malimot. Isulat mo rin ito sa paper. Sorry. Write your main ideas down in columns and list absolutely everything na nasa isip natin. Just mix and match the lists for unusual and original combinations. Any combinations can do, basta it's a little non-conventional, unique. You can use this as your main ideas. Always carry a sketchbook. Here's another tip. Wag maghanap sa inspiration because Craig Ward, a London-based designer and illustrator, says a visually loaded word of or phrase can jump out from a passage of text or a song. Kaya pwede kang mag-sketch ng ideas as soon as they come. Like, ano naisip mo? Do you think of a tree or a skyscraper? You can sketch them para magkaroon ka ng way to get rid of your creative block. Don't be afraid to step away. It's like taking a break. You can be sure of it. Completely open briefs can be the worst for causing creative block. So for a while, you can keep your distance from the project, and this is why you can have a break sometimes, and pwede mo lang balikan kapag malinaw na ang mind mo. If you have a clear head. Sensya na talaga. Oh, wait. Wait, there are dogs. How do we Okay, I'm sorry. Nag-meet lang ako dahil may mga maingit talaga kaming aso. She just had her puppies a few weeks back. Anyway, finish what you have started. Mr. Mills, a creative director at Us2, explains there's no such thing as a bad idea. The creative part in seeing it through, though, to completion and turning dreams into reality. So kapag may nasimulan ka na, pwedeng-pwede mo tong tapusin. Most likely at your own pace and time. Put some fun into your studio. Why would you be inspired to do something kung boring naman ang studio mo? Sterility, according to Mills, leads to an empty void of nothingness. Pwede kang mag-add ng color and life sa studio mo, and don't run it as if it were a clinic or a prison. Who wants that to clinical mood o yung mood na parang nasa preso ka? It has to look like parang hindi ka nagtatrabaho. You could, sorry, you can make it colorful, interesting, dynamic para pwede kang na-inspire to do more and to rid your creative block. Don't retread your steps. Inspiration is intangible, according to Alex Trusha. Oh, I'm sorry, it's my grandmother. How do we pronounce this? Trocchut. Sabi niya, you can't do it on purpose. Kaya if you just try to reproduce how a good project happened in the past, you'll never get the same result. You can't redo something na may magandang audience response or magandang marketability. You have to do something different all the time. It's what I've been personally trying to do. Look in unlikely places as well. So you can go and do something else entirely kapag it's in somewhere na you usually hang out and hindi ka naman gaano gumagawa ng creative, and all of it, baka dun ka magkaroon ng creative ideas. You can be amazed at where new ideas are hiding out. They're often where you would least expect them to be. Kung hindi sa mga museum, pwedeng sa somewhere in Luneta. Or for now, this is not possible dahil nga we're still under a pandemic. We're almost likely allowed to stay at home. So minsan may mga ideas din tayong naiisip while we're just at home. Samantalahin na yan kapag meron kang biglang naiisip na idea while you can't go out, they're often where you would least expect them to be nga. And expect the unexpected. The best ideas don't need to be sought out at all. According to John Frost, a co-founder of new non-format, just train yourself not to swerve out of the way, huwag gumawi sa kabilang daan, when these ideas jump out in front of you. Huwag nang lilihis kapag yung mga magagandang ideas ay nasa atin na. Let's grab it. Kaya nga, expect the unexpected. Explore other creative disciplines. Inspiration naman can come from anywhere. Look beyond other illustrators and designers such as photography, typography, fashion, film, packaging, and signage. The way they do their work could be something that could give you and myself pate some creative inspiration. I sometimes look at Instagram feed of photographers. Doon ako kumukuha ng idea, although I cannot do much yet. Siguro at a better timing I can incorporate them or use them as an inspiration or a guide or a thing to do one of my future projects, passion projects, ganyan. And let's also try to expand our minds. Kagaya to ng mushroom picking. You wander through the magical woods of inspiration and see a big, beautiful mushroom. According to Kladnik and Neon from Slovenia. Then, kukunin mo tong kabute. Then, gawin itong masarap na putahe. And if your friends like it, you go into the woods for more. If we expand our minds and look for something new, let's then grab it. Huwag tayo magbaka narrow-minded people. 2020 na kaya. I think in a way everyone can make their minds broader and more open. Kaya kung ano-anong ideas ang pwede nating sorry, my grandmother. Don't mind. Kung ano-anong ideas ang pwede nating kunin just to get rid of that creative block that keeps us from being productive. Sometimes it's also good to go against the flow. Try to approach every brief with the opposite of what everyone else would do. It might not be the direction you choose in the end, but it can help to avoid cliched scenarios. If yung mga people in your work circle do something like this, you can do a little different. You try a different approach from what they usually do. That's how you go against the flow. That's siguro the way nonconformists can get away with how they don't get creative blocks. Trying something different or going against the flow isn't bad. Another tip is to take notes on life. Minsan kasi, may mga best ideas tayong na kukuha kapag meron tayong ginagawang completely random and uncreative tasks. According to Ink Evangelist Johanna Basford. So if you suddenly come across these best ideas, isulat niyo na agad or you can take pictures of anything that catches your eyes. Kahit picture pa ng bulaklak or a moth na dumapo sa wall, pwede mo kuha ng picture and you can suddenly get a great idea from it. I did that once and some moths don't fly away when they landed on the wall. Doon ako nakakakuha minsan ng mga ideas. It's also great to grab some you time. Kapag marami ka kasing ginagawang projects at a time, it can stifle your creativity. So, if there are instances na burned out ka na from work or from doing school projects for students who are watching here or sa replay, take some time to yourself and turn everything off for a couple of days. Kaya ang iba nagbabakasyon or something, they do Netflix and chill or I want and chill. It's their form of you time or me time or pwedeng mag-spa or haircut para rin magkaroon ng time to relax at magpakawala ng stress. Don't be bound by the brief. Dahil on smaller jobs, kapag mas konti ang info, it's better to avoid forced influences. Jeff Knowles from Planning Unit, siya yung founder ng Planning Unit to be specific, says that your solution might open the client's eyes to new things. You could think of something na pwedeng makakakuha ng new ideas for the clients or yung target mong market. It's also essential to broaden your horizons. This is why it's good to immerse yourself in particular arts or cultures that you wouldn't normally be interested. Gagaya no, some people are interested in East Asian culture, Latin American culture, or Cubism, or yung art ni na, the works of Neruda, Dali, Nietzsche, Rolando Tino, and all of it. Kasi it could lead to interesting mixed context inspirations. So get involved. Pwede ring pumunta sa Sagada or Benguet to get creative inspiration. But we can only do that kapag wala ng pandemic. If everything is fine now, for now, what we can do yung maghanap ng poetry or narratives or mga ganyan from the great artists that I've mentioned. Some of you may be familiar with them and some ay hindi. Push the boundaries. You can experiment in your personal projects or kung wala ka namang time or energy after a hard day's work, go off on a tangent for an hour while working on an actual project. This is good para you can step out of your comfort zone and you can be as creative as you think you deserve to be. Ganyan. And let's also get a fresh perspective. As you see in the picture, let's have the time to view things from different angles. Some upside down lettering in a stack of papers, like minsan ito yung nagbibigay sa akin ng ideas. Or a scrunched up sketch kapag yung sketch na yan nakita mo naka-crumple na yung paper and then you suddenly come across it. These create unusual shapes and spark off new ideas. Anything pati abstract or faded colors, you can get new ideas from it. Minsan, idadaan din natin to sa tulog. Sleep on it when you can. Jessica Hish suggests that you shouldn't try to think of it and do on the same day. Kaya this is how we tend to sort the good from the bad naturally and occasionally come up with some really off-the-wall things overnight. If you think yung mga ganyan, mga ideas mo, nawawala na and you can't get inspired enough, itulog lang muna natin yan. Maybe by the time we have slept enough, meron na tayong creative ideas na naiisip. And of course, shake up your surroundings. Why don't we try different working environments to keep things fresh? There are instances like pwede tayong mag-sketch at home or on the train. Some people do that, although I have personally yet to see someone na nagsisketch habang nasa loob ng LRT or MRT, ganyan. Refine final work in your studio. Some artists do this. And pwede ka rin mag-brainstorm sa favorite mong coffee shop. Kapag kasi mag-try kang gumawa ng work sa ibang environment, you can actually think of fresh ideas. So, try this whenever you can para hindi ka mawala ng drive sa pagiging creative. And for now, ang ating inklunihan ay meron na po tayong nakalap na 2,026 pesos and 74 centavos sa GCash, 420 pesos and 65 centavos sa BPI, 45 sa Paymaya. The total amount so far as of July 28 is 2,492 pesos and 39 centavos. Ang inklunihan ay naglalayo na makapag-donate ng 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 funds and clothing para sa mga persons with disability na naapektuhan ng pandemic, yung mga unemployed dahil doon, the poorest of the poor, tsaka mga hindi natanggap ng SAP or Special Amelioration Program. Sorry, my grandmother again. Bukod doon, para rin to sa educational materials na hindi ma-afford or ma-access ng ibang persons with disability for their school requirements. This is also done to fund the future projects of Hands in Inclusion. Narito po ang numbers kung saan tayo makakapag-donate through Paymaya and GCash. For GCash and Paymaya, you can donate through the number 0917-701-9684. You can also see that on the screen. At para sa BPI naman, yung BPI account number is 008199-331834. We can send our proof of donation to this email, handsin.inclusion@gmail.com. Please include the subject inklunihan, space full name, space month, date, and year. Yung exact date ng inyong donation in cash. Yun po ang ating ilalagay sa proof of donation. You may also send a message sa Facebook page na Inklunihan PH. Makakaasa po kami na as long as we are cooperating, makakapag-donate po tayo para sa Inklunihan to fund HNI's future project at para rin makatulong sa mga less fortunate persons with disability na nangangailangan ng financial aid at para din sa educational materials. No matter how big or small the amount, maraming nagpapasalamat na po kami sa tulong na inyong maibibigay. So, we're about to wrap up our open arms episode for tonight. Yung pag-overcome ng creative block. If you have tried any of the tips discussed sa pag-overcome ng creative block, you can write a comment sa ating comment section and share why this is effective for you to get rid of your creative block. You can also share your own tips kung bakit kayo nakawala sa creative block that prevents you from being inspired in doing anything that you love sa work, school, or anything. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of Open Arms. See you all again next week. This has been Billi Makuse. Wag din po natin kalimutang mag-donate sa Inklunihan. You can also see the numbers sa ibaba ng screen. And don't forget, HNI, God first. One inclusion forever.